Hello everyone, it's Koit here, and I'm back with this video to show you the process of how I create my music. Many people have asked for it, and so here it is. It's a step-by-step process covering as many of the processes as possible. Okay, so I've just got up, I've had a song going around my head for most of the night, so here I am, and this is the first step of a normal Koit song. So I will go on to my voice recorder on the mobile, and then start singing. Da 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 da, you can tug it. Da 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 da, just tug it. Da 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 da, tug it. Da 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 da, see what comes out. Dun da dum da dum da 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 da. And there you go. That's the first step. Then the next step is to literally connect my phone. I'm just going to plug that in now via USB. So I've just connected my phone. We're literally just going to go to the recording. And I'm going to drag that into this new Koit album. And I can have a new folder called Tug It as well, because that's what I reckon the song will be called. And then drag that in there. And if I play it, and then start singing. Da 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 da, you can tug it. Da 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 da. And there we go. Okay, so then what I do is I open Sonic Foundry Acid Pro. I'll grab one of my drum loops. So I'll just click a few, test them. All I do is try and find one that I think is going to suit my my song. Okay, and here we are. I've just completed this very basic drum track for a new song called Tug It. I've added 7 tracks and I've split them as so. I've got an opening chorus, middle piece, another chorus, another middle piece, and then 2 final choruses at the end. What this will be is just a very basic song, and it'll go something like this actually. Now that you've heard the original bit recorded into my phone. Da 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 da, you can tug it. La 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 la, you can tug it. La 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 la, something tug it. Da 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 dan dan. Bum bada bum bada bum 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 da 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 da. You can tug it. You get the idea. La da 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 da. You can tug it, etc. etc. Okay, and here is my setup. Now I'm about to record the musical parts, the MIDI parts, if you will, of the backing track. We've done the drums already, so I'll just show you the setup. I've got my Korg i3 synthesizer here. It's risen on a piece of mobile furniture, so it's on casters, so I can move it, to and from my computer desk. I'm running my Rode NT1A microphone with a pop shield on a little portable stand through into my DBX286S, which is a preamp for the microphone. And then obviously all those knobs on the front will help give different effects and stuff. That then runs into my main computer, which I'm just showing on the one screen here. And obviously there's a nice bit of effect going on there when you do the screen, but I'm running Cubase behind. I'll show you that in a second. And then all out through my Barrows and Wilkins speakers on either side. So that's my setup. Now on to record the main part of the tune. Okay, so what I've done with Cubase is I put in 2 audio tracks, and I've imported the drums, which I made in the Acid Pro. I put 1 on each track. This one will actually be lower volume than this one, but I just like to have higher volume to begin with so I can hear what I'm doing. And I've got a basic drum track, which I always have, which is just a doom, 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 steady 4/4 beat. Now I've matched the BPM, so the beats per minute in here from Acid Pro, which was 135, so that's what I've set this up. But what I'm going to do is mute this track and then put on the drum track because I want to slow this down. I want to put this to, I don't know, around 80. And the reason I'm doing that is because it means I can play easier on the synthesizer and get it more accurate. Because I'm not that great at piano, it just means I can cope with this better. Okay, so I've just set up Cubase to record on a time element. So it's going to be a count of 16 and then I'm going to start playing. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and there you go. So that's the first part. Now on to the second part. Okay, so what I've done now is I've done the first, second part of the main tune, and then I've done the middle parts. I've recorded those via MIDI. What I'm going to do now is go into each of these pieces and quantize them. And what that means is essentially put them in time. Now, when I do vocals on that, obviously I won't need to put them in time, but with notes, I like to have them bang on the beat because I kind of like an ordered structure. So, let's play this. So I like ba ba ba. So there's the bar on to the line 2. So I'll put that back. Ba 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 ba. And then I'll shorten that note so it doesn't overlap. So what I've got now, and I'll do the same there on this one. That shortens that so it doesn't overlap the notes. Now if I play that again, puts it bang in time, which is what I want when I'm recording MIDI because I don't want to miss other MIDI parts when I'm playing them. I don't want it to be off time and therefore I have to do this every time. So I do it to begin with. Shorten that one. And then there should be one more over there, which is... And there we go. So that is now quantized for that piece. Now if I go and play back... Da 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 dum da 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 dum. Now I'm going to do this one and then these pieces and I'll see you next. Okay, and now I've done the bass piece and I'm just about to put some chords. So I've just worked out some chords on the keyboard. So, and I've got the right sound. Well, it's not the right sound, it's just a temp sound. Anyway, I'm going to record that piece now, put it back to 80 BPM to make it easier, and here we go. And again, I'll go in and quantize. That's just those where it's got 4 pieces. I've done 3 notes, but where it's got a 4th, it's just because I accidentally pressed another key. So all I'm going to do is quickly quantize these bad boys, like that. And then it'll sound good in theory. What it should do. You never know. Ba, 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 da. Right, so there we go. That's the first piece. Now let's see what it sounds like at normal pace with the normal drums on and with a bit of bass. These are not the final sounds, but you'll get the picture. And there you go. Okay, so here I am back, and I've done the majority of the basic pieces I'll need to make up the song. So I've whacked in some cymbal pieces, got a full-on bass, chords in, some extra sort of like pieces in the middle piece, and then I've got some highlight bits for the main choruses, and I've added all the tunes in. You might see that I've actually altered the main drum track because what I felt halfway through is I wanted a silent bit in the middle where instead of vocals, this bit will be an instrument track playing the main tune in the middle. So it'll go silent, then into sort of a heavier bit, and then at the end it transposes up, so up a few notes. So you'll get a basic gist. Now, the volume of these MIDI tracks is quite low because it's actually coming through the speakers and being picked up with the mic. But when I actually turn these tracks into instrument tracks, you'll start to hear it properly. Anyway, here's where I'm at. And this bit is like the quieter bit. That'll be instrument. And then, as you can see, or hear, sorry, up at the end. And then just an extra end piece. Anyway, there you go. So now what I'm going to do is move the MIDI tracks to instruments and apply instruments. So see me for that bit. Okay, so what I've done now is copied all the MIDI tracks basically to instrument tracks, and I've muted all of the MIDI tracks apart from the main tune because I still want to be that. Sorry, I still want that to be played whilst I'm messing around with these. So these won't sound like anything at the moment until I allocate them a sound. So what I'm going to do, I always tend to start with the bass. So I'm going to go and assign some measure of VST instrument. So I'm going to put in that one, and let's just start playing. I'll actually put it in a position and loop it so that we can then just keep playing about. Let's put in that one to begin with, so that sounds awful, but and all I do is go through these to try and find one that sounds good. Okay, and so here, having done the majority of the proper sounds, I'm just going to play you a little snippet of, you know, where I've got to. That bit probably there, that's vocals. There you go. Okay, and it's now time to record the vocals for the Tug It song. So I'm going into my vocal booth that I built years ago. We've got light obviously in there, which I'm running off the electricity obviously. And I've got my Rode NT1A in here now on a microphone stand with the lyrics on a lyrics holder. So I'm literally just going to go in here, look through the portal, look, so I can see where I am on the time frame of the song itself, so I know when to come in. I'll also have the beats going anyway, but there, yeah, here we go. Off to sing the first lines. Meet in a sec. Okay, so now we're back in Cubase after doing the vocal line, which is this line here, and then this one here, which will be the rise at the end. There's a step change at the end. So this is what I'm currently working on, this one, verse 4. It's a snippet of an audio piece recorded by me. So this is what it sounds like.
When you're on your own, you can tug it. Get your pecker out and just tug it. When you're on the phone, you can tug it. Tug it for some time and then see what comes out.
So all I'm going to do now is look at verse 4, 5, 8 and verse 204, which is this line here, and then I'm just going to tweak the audio, get it in line, get it in time. You know, there's going to be various pitches that I'll need to amend because there'll be some words, some lines that aren't quite in pitch, because obviously that happens to most people singing. Well, it does me anyway because I'm quite flat while singing sometimes. So I'm going to just tweak some of the audio and then see you in a bit. Here I am in the program Goldwave, and just after or sometimes before mixing, I like to get rid of messy audio. And what I mean by that is this. These are audio files that I've loaded in from a song. This one's actually Flying Bum, or the third song for Flying Bum, which will appear on the album, and not Tug It, the one I'm showing you in this video series. And the reason for that is that I already did this part and forgot about it and didn't record the video. Anyway, so this is what I do. I look at the beginning of the waveform, and I look at the end of the waveform, and basically I silence and or fade in. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I play this stream, you'll see down here, it's all messy. So what I'll do, I'll go to the beginning, and I go roughly before the end, and then I play it and try and find the best position. So about there, and then I alter the volume, so I will lower it to 0, and then fade in a bit, about here-ish in. So that gives a smooth entrance. Otherwise, if I did all 0 all the way across, then jump straight into a bit that happened to be slightly louder, it might stick out with a click or be so obvious. Anyway, so that's why I do that fade in and fade out. So yeah, I did the fade in there, and then I'll go to the end, and roughly there, and fade that bad boy out. Boom, boom, and then I'll save it. Then I've got all these others to do, and that's the end of that process, and then it's back into Cubase for the final mix. So after I had done all of the cleaning up in Goldwave of these, you know, the audio files for the various choruses across the track, we're back in here, and all I do is go into the mixer. So there's me mixer, devices mixer, and then I'm setting the levels for all of these audio parts, basically. And I've done that across every track and mixed it best I could. I'm not greatest at this, at the production part, to be fair, but I've got it to levels where I think it sounds roughly the best. And here's a snippet of where I've got to. I won't play the whole thing.
When you're on your own, you can tug it. Get your pecker out and just tug it. When you're on the phone, you can tug it. Tug it for some time and then see what comes out.
Okay, there's an example of it. And then what I'll do from there is I will export the audio mix down. Call that one Tug It, obviously. Tug It. Oh yes, Tug It. Export that bad boy down. Cubase will now do a mix and put it into a WAV file for me to then manipulate the final step, which is the mastering. And I will show you that in a program called SoundForge, Sony SoundForge. I'll show you that in a minute when this process is done. Okay, and here I am for the penultimate step, which is in Sony SoundForge. And as you can see, I've lobbed in Tug It up here. So this is the output from Cubase, and that's the waveform you're seeing. Now, this penultimate step is actually going to master the track, which is essentially upping the volume, if you will, plus adding a few stereo width effects to a track to make it more radio playable, to make it sound better, essentially. So I'm going to play you a snippet of the output from Cubase before.
When you're on your own, you can tug it. Get your pecker out and just tug it.
And now I'm going to process, so I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to go to my plugin chain, which I've set up this maximizer from L3. I'm going to run that, and that should, there you are, it's up to the volume, but it's not the only thing it's done. And now I'll play you a snippet now, which essentially should bring the track to life.
When you're on your own, you can tug it. Get your pecker out and just tug it. When you're on the phone, you can tug it.
And there you go. It's all like added depth, added warmth to the track. So that's the penultimate step. I'll save this. And then it's back to Goldwave for the final editing. Here we are, so back in Goldwave for literally the final step. Now normally what I'll do is I'll have a folder of songs, and I will have put this one in there, and I will essentially keep listening to those tracks over and over and over again, trying to find little tweaks and edits that I can make, and then go back into Cubase, you know, tweak them, output it, then go back into SoundForge and up, you know, do the maximizer, and then end up back here again. But once I'm happy with it, what I will literally just do is I'll view the selection, and I'm gonna crop essentially. So
When you
I'll probably start about there, because you can see there's, I don't know if you can see, I'll zoom in a bit, but just here you can see a waveform starting. That's the W,
when
or a little bit of breath. So I'll start there, zoom back all out again, pop my end marker there, and then I'll trim. So that's set me start, and then I'll look at the end. So I'll view selection. As you can see, it's tapering out, ends roughly there. So I'll delete that part, and then for the last bit I will fade out so that it does trail out properly to my end point which I created. And then that will be it. I will then save that one, and that track then becomes finalized. And there you go. That's the step-by-step tutorial for how I create my songs ready for my animations. In the next video, I'll actually do a step-by-step tutorial, or step-by-step process, if you will, for how I create my animations. See you next time.